Welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in because we are going on a bit of a journey today to demystify carpet installation, literally from the ground up. Whether you're finally finishing that basement, upgrading your living room, or just trying to figure out why your current carpet looks like a total war zone, we're going to look at the entire life cycle of a carpet. We'll be digging into everything from the raw concrete beneath your feet, to the padding, to surface protectors, all the way to the shockingly strict fine print hidden in your warranty. So let's kick things off by challenging a really common assumption with what I like to call the iceberg analogy. You look at a beautiful plush carpet and you're really only seeing the tip of the iceberg. What you don't see beneath it is actually what matters most. We all tend to look at a basement slab, see that there are no active puddles, and just assume, hey, it's bone dry. But as we'll learn from the pros today, that is a massive, dangerous assumption that can completely ruin your investment.
All right, here's our quick roadmap for today. We're covering 1. Concrete subfloors and moisture, 2. Choosing the right pad, 3. DIY surface protection, and 4. Decoding your carpet warranty.
Let's jump right into part 1, concrete subfloors and moisture.
Okay, here's the deal. You have to test your concrete first. Unlike a wooden subfloor, concrete does not breathe. It can hide dampness for months, especially in below-grade spaces where it literally just absorbs groundwater through these tiny, microscopic cracks. Professional installers highly recommend doing a calcium chloride test, which measures the actual moisture vapor coming off the slab, or a relative humidity test. You absolutely have to find that hidden dampness.
Because if you don't, well, ignoring it leads to total disaster. When moisture gets trapped under there, the carpet backing breaks down, the padding just disintegrate, and you get mold. Seriously. If you jump on Reddit's home improvement forums, you will read absolute horror stories. People ripping up old carpet only to find their subfloors completely destroyed by trapped moisture. Or even old pet accidents that just soaked right through and never dried. And that is exactly why a vapor barrier is an absolute must-have for below-grade spaces. It's basically a specialized layer of plastic or synthetic material that goes directly between the concrete and your pad. It literally stops that upward moisture seepage dead in its tracks. You combine that with physically sealing the concrete first, and you've got your very best line of defense against mildew and terrible odors. Moving right along to section 2, choosing the right pad. Now, there is a massive difference between your standard budget pad and a basement-safe pad. Standard Rebond foam is super affordable, sure, but it acts exactly like a sponge. It just drinks up moisture. On the flip side, synthetic or rubber pads are naturally mold and mildew resistant, making them the absolute ideal choice for a damp environment. But of course, that protection is going to cost you. One Reddit user building a home mentioned getting hit with a $600 fee just to upgrade to a moisture barrier pad. So is it worth it? Well, seasoned contractors and homeowners pretty much universally say yes. Think about it. If you've got kids or pets who are constantly spilling things, keeping those liquids from soaking into a porous subfloor makes cleanup a breeze, rather than a frantic panic attack with a roll of paper towels. To put that into perspective, let's look at some big box store pricing. You can pay about 38 cents a square foot for basic Rebond, all the way up to $1.14 for premium foam that has a moisture barrier on both the top and the bottom. But wait, here's where a huge debate sparks up among DIYers. Some argue that a double barrier in a basement might actually trap sweating moisture directly against the concrete, giving it nowhere to go. Because of that, some folks actually prefer the cheaper, lower-density Rebond with just a top barrier, arguing it lets the concrete air out. It is a crazy trade-off between top-down spill protection and bottom-up evaporation. Oh, and here is a literal game changer of a tip from a pro installer. If you splurge on that premium moisture barrier pad, ask your installers nicely, maybe bribe them with some coffee, to glue the pad down instead of stapling it. Why? Because hammer stapling literally punches hundreds of tiny holes right through that expensive waterproof barrier you just bought. It completely defeats the entire purpose of the upgrade. All right, part 3, DIY surface protection. So if you're going to apply something like 3M Scotchgard yourself, you have to follow the manufacturer's steps religiously. You've got to prep the area, test a hidden spot to make sure the color doesn't run, and then hold the can upside down, spraying evenly from 2 feet away. Then comes the hardest part, keeping your pets and kids off it for 2 to 6 whole hours while it dries. And whatever you do, don't over-apply it. It doesn't help, it just leaves this stiff white powder that you're going to have to vacuum up anyway. You also absolutely need to know what your carpet is made of before you spray anything. Synthetics like polyester, nylon, and even colored wool are perfectly safe for these protectors. but do not use it on white wool or delicate oriental rugs. Using the wrong product on the wrong fiber can cause completely irreversible color damage. And keep the number 6 in mind. This isn't a one-and-done deal. To actually maintain that protection, you're going to need to reapply it every 6 months in your high-traffic areas, or immediately after every single time you have the carpets professionally cleaned.
Finally, Section 4, decoding your carpet warranty.
Listen to this quote from a professional cleaning service. They say, carpet warranties are marketing tools as much as they are protections. That is a massive truth bomb right there. We all tend to think warranties are this great safety net for us, but the reality is they're often written with narrow definitions that make it super easy for the manufacturer to just deny your claim. In fact, you're going to be shocked by what is actually excluded. When we think of a warranty, we think it covers everyday life, right? Nope. Pet accidents? Excluded. Coffee and wine spills? Excluded. Cosmetics? Even standard wear and tear on your own stairs and hallways? All excluded. The exact everyday mishaps you assume you're protected against are often explicitly left out of the fine print. And to even keep that limited warranty alive, you are locked into a very strict schedule. Almost all major carpet warranties literally mandate that you get your carpets professionally cleaned every 12 to 18 months using a specific method, commercial hot water extraction, which most of us just call steam cleaning. And heads up, running to the grocery store to rent one of those DIY machines absolutely does not count. Those rental units just lack the commercial power to extract dirt and allergens deeply enough. The manufacturers know this, so they demand certified professional cleaners. Using a DIY rental could literally void your coverage altogether. But here is the absolute biggest gotcha of them all. Let's say you hire the pros, you pay up, and you follow that 12-month schedule flawlessly. If you happen to lose your invoice, your entire claim can be denied on the spot. They require documented proof. No receipt, no proof, no warranty. It's really that strict.
So, looking back at our roadmap for today, we've covered the whole life cycle, from hidden moisture in your concrete to picking the right pad, DIY surface protection, and the incredibly rigid reality of warranties. It just goes to show that a long-lasting carpet relies heavily on meticulous prep work and paying close attention to the fine print.
Which leaves us with this final thought. Take a look at your own floors today. Check your paperwork, consider the state of your subfloors, and ask yourself, is your current setup truly built to last? Or is it just waiting for a spilled cup of coffee and a lost receipt to completely unravel? Thanks so much for joining me on today's Explainer, and I hope this helps you build a better foundation for your home.